Like you couldn't see my nipples or anything because I didn't want my nipples to be the star of the show because they're
Well, the middle one they could
they're
see.
nice nipples. The middle one they could see.
Yeah.
You see, Patrick and I don't agree on everything. Sometimes we vehemently disagree, and we can still love each other and lick each other's faces at the end of it. The Working Actor NYC, that's Patrick Richwood.
Benjamin Howes, ladies and gentlemen.
This episode of The Working Actor NYC may contain profanity and some adult concepts, so please use your discretion.
So here's the question for you. How are you feeling about self-taping now? How does it make you feel?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Why? Does it show? What's happening?
Compared to how you felt about self-tapes 3 years ago.
Now it's routine.
Right.
It's completely routine to me now. Even 3 years ago, it was like, oh, I was pretty quick to go, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, let me figure out. I had mine on iMovie, and it's super rudimentary, but it's easy. It gives me transitions. It gives me ins and outs. I never have, but I could, I suppose, cut, something out and just jump. If I suppose I could. I never have. I mean, why not just do another take? But,
give her another take.
Yeah, I guess I feel like now the big change between 3 years ago and now is it's very routine. Yeah. I know I'll get it accomplished. I know I'll get it sent. Also, the other thing is I'm less addicted. I'm less committed to perfection. Do you find that? Like, for instance, I'm like, oh no, there's a wrinkle in the back. I don't care. And they don't care. And I know that. I've always known that.
There is this sort of pervasive idea that self-tapes are isolating, that they kill relationships. We always say self-tapes are isolating because we miss the room, we miss the table, we miss the monitor at the.
I miss the room. I miss the live feel. I mean, I always think that's better. It's better. It's just more, first of all, it's more fun, I think. Yeah. Everybody gets to participate in it. Plus, the other thing is, it's one thing for film. From the actor perspective, self-taping for film is a little more accurate. I mean, I guess, because you can sort of, you can do camera acting, whatever, for lack of a better way of putting it. Although they're going to be filming you in a film audition in the room, it's harder to be dismissive of the people in the room and really just let your essence be captured by the camera when there are people in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard
when there's
thing
the
for
dynamic of a
learn.
Relationship with a casting director that you just met or a casting associate that you just met who's
there.
Filming you. And or that they are the eyes of your lover or your mother or whichever character you're playing.
That's right. 100%. So and some casting directors don't care if you look at them off camera. Others are like, they're judging you on that. It's like, you didn't look at me. Are you going to not look at your co-star? It's like, of course I'm going to look at but you're behind the thing. I can't see it, Anyway, it's sort of, I kind of feel like we've given up some, things, some odd things and some good things for other odd things and good things. Don't you?
Well, I just sort of feel like the relationships have now shifted. I mean, yes, you can, if you are trying to embrace self-taping, then complaining that you're not given the chance to build a relationship with the casting director and to be in the room and to meet the table and all the rest of it isn't going to help you. Like, if you want your self-tapes to get better, you've got to embrace what you have right now.
That's not going to help me.
And then the relationships are then with your reader. Do you have more than one reader? Are you now? And
are you saying, Benjamin Howes? Are you saying that all the bitching that I've done about not getting to meet isn't helping me?
I don't know that it's going to help you, Patrick. I don't know if you figured this out.
All this time I thought somebody was listening. Nope.
But I guess getting back to what I was saying about relationships, I sort of feel as though the relationships have now shifted into your living room instead of the audition room has now moved into your living room or your second bedroom or your studio or wherever it is that you do your self-tapes.
Yeah, I have a self-tape wing.
Self-tapes didn't kill Community. They just relocated it, Because what I find, and correct me
Yeah.
if you have a different experience, but what I find is that I have a series of relationships now with the people that I call upon to be my readers.
Oh
And
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we
for
do it
sure.
through Zoom.
Yeah.
I feel as though you and I wouldn't be doing this right here, right now, if it weren't not for we built
We
this relationship where we relied on each other as being readers for a
That's true.
long
That's true.
time.
Yeah.
And now
Because
we don't
prior
do
to
it
that,
anymore because we can't stand each other outside of this
I
environment.
didn't
But
like
yeah,
you right from the get-go, to be honest. But, this is something to do. We really get to support each other in ways
each other.
that
Yeah.
are uplifting and supportive, and you can get inspired or give inspiration depending on how it's going, or just be there. And none of that was really quite available unless you're talking about I had my people that I would get, like I had people that I will always get together with to work on Shakespeare because I'm always so rusty with Shakespeare, and
Uh-huh.
I'll work that out with my favorite people.
So the reason that this came up is because I have a client who is new to self-taping. This is a person who is extremely experienced, extremely smart, and extremely talented actor, but has been on the sort of I will say, the more academic side of the industry for many years, and has now decided that it's time to put themselves back into the arena. So the issue that my client has is that they feel like asking other actors to read for them is an imposition on them, and my client feels like they should be paying them to do it.
It sounds to me like your client could really take a look at, paying the people that they use by being there for them in return. See, that's how I feel it's so valuable. It's really a complete, what do you call that?
Reciprocal.
Yeah, it's reciprocal, and it's also, I forget, I want to say fair trade, but I can't think of the term, where, that's part of what I like about it. It's like, I'm going to be there for you. You're going to be there for me. And I happen to love working with people on
Well,
self-tapes.
that was my point to my client. I was like, you will find that actors love to act. Like, this is exactly what you have talked about. It's like, it's a chance to act on a Tuesday, except it's Tuesday night after everybody gets home from
At
their
3
day
in the
job,
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a ring light in your eye. But I do think that it might also be, in that particular case, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of an old self-worth issue. Like, I'm not worth it, so I have to pay. You know what I mean? That could be in
Certainly.
the mix also. And what? A self-worth issue with an actor? Huh. That's so strange. I never heard of that before.
But it's an opportunity
that's
to
something that
build
gets in our way.
community, to build, I think also, like, saying, will you help me with my self-tape? You're saying to them, I trust you not to sink my ship. But I do also think that there's something to be said for building your community in a way that says, I trust you.
Yeah.
And this is a two-person rehearsal, not a favor. It's like I'm paying you in respect, not
Yeah,
cash or
I
Venmo.
agree. If we start thinking of it as favors, we're fucked. I really think I call it my A team, and I'm like, and I want to be on your A team. Please don't, this. Please do not hesitate. If I'm not available, I'll simply say I'm not available.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the big deal,
But it is that thing of, like, being a reader does help you develop community. Like, building your team of readers is an opportunity to build community. So if you were trying to embrace self-tapes, think of it also as an opportunity to build a community of fellow actors who you can trust and rely upon, and call up at 9 p.m. and say, hey, I've got to get this tape done before tomorrow afternoon. Are you free?
Yeah, it's kind of like, look, they changed the rules, right? The rules got changed one way or another.
Yeah.
Am I not going to be as passionate about my career or as committed to having what I want because they changed the rules? A lot of times I have that conversation with people over 60. Actually,
Right.
Because I've got a lot of friends, now at my age, I've got a lot of friends who are in their thousands, and they are like, I just can't. And I listen and I go, are you ready to retire? Is that what you're saying? And you're using this as an excuse? Yeah. Or are you letting this get in your way? Because there was always something. If it wasn't this, it was getting to Pearl Studios on 8th Avenue in the middle of a rainstorm or the snow.
Remember when it used to be Shetler and then it became Ripley Greer and now it's Pearl? Like, what are you going to do? Say, no, Pearl, I think I'll go to Shetler.
I remember when it was Michael Bennett Studios down on 890 Broadway in the 80s. I remember all of it.
You talked about this a little bit before, and I want to sort of get back to it, is that the self-tape provides a creative opportunity that wasn't there before. And there's a certain amount of creative freedom in making a self-tape.
I think so, don't you?
Absolutely. And it's that reframe of, self-tape is something I have to do, or I hate this part of the industry, or I hate what this has become, and I miss the room, and I miss the audition, and all the rest of it. How about thinking of it instead, embrace what the self-tape is and use it as its own creative opportunity?
Yeah. And going even a little bit further into that, and heading into a territory that you've discussed before, and so have I, come to think of it, how about imagining that you're on the set?
I love this. It's such a great
like how about doing
technique?
That?
Yeah.
It's a good technique. And it's a great technique. It's like, it's a good technique in art in general. Like, why not keep in mind the big picture? Like, ooh, here I am. I'm in front of a camera. This is going to be I'm going to do my best work. I've done my homework, right? How about it?
How risky do you get in your self-tapes? Do you use props? How deep do you go with what you wear?
Exactly the same as it would be live. I try and suggest. I mean, if I'm a businessman, I'm going to wear a suit. I'm not going to wear a t-shirt. I would never be like the guy that goes, I think I'll wear a toga. You know what I mean? Like, I'll try and avoid being on the nose as much as possible. There are very, very few auditions. I can probably count on one hand where I broke the rule and used a prop because it was just so delicious that I couldn't resist the joke. And I think
I've had a casting director say to me that she hates people who use props in their auditions. And I'm a little bit the opposite end of the spectrum. If a prop helps you give a better performance, use a prop.
I think the casting director's point, it's a shame she hates it because that's a waste of energy. And also it's a shame because she could really be like missing something great just because that actor happens to be empowered by a prop. I can see the casting director's point, though, in one sense, which is it's a little bit like the act, unless it's chosen carefully, like this is going to be worth it, watch and see, in my opinion. You're telling the casting director, I need this in order to do this character. And that's not a good message because the director might not want you to need that. The director might have a different idea. The casting director wants to bring somebody who can be as neutral, as they're committed, flexible. They're doing their thing, but they're flexible.
My opinion is that if it helps you create truthful behavior for the scene and it helps you stay in the scene, then use a prop. But you do run the risk of the prop upstaging you in a way, of it becoming distracting, that the prop becomes the thing that they're looking at as opposed to your performance. But miming it, then they start to judge your miming skills, no?
That's what I was going to say. I will generally want to mime it. I'll be like, listen, if you want it, that's what I want to do. But I probably will, in the end, just remove the cigarette part of the scene. Like, I'll just say, my thinking is, I don't need to act out a kiss when the person isn't there, or I don't need to pretend to smoke if I don't have a cigarette. My attitude is, I want them to see that I'm getting the essence of the scene. I want them to see that I'm getting the core of it. They'll know that I can put a cigarette in my mouth when they give me one.
Okay, so I had an audition for the top of show of an episodic, and it was a murder. Somebody gets murdered at the beginning of the episode, and so then the detectives have to figure out who done it, right? And I had one line, but I was having sex with a woman, and I say, "Choke me a little, I like it," and she strangles me to death, right? First of all, I was not going to be naked.
Oh, the holidays. Yeah.
For the audition, for the self-tape. So I had a business shirt, but it was open. Like you couldn't see my nipples or anything because I didn't want my nipples to be the star of the show because they're
the middle one they could.
They're
see
nice nipples. The middle one they could see.
Yeah.
But then also by the same token, I had to enact getting strangled by somebody because that was the point of the scene, was that I'd get choked to death. So I said the line and then strangled myself. And it sort of in the framing of the scene, they were my hands, but
yeah, I like that. I mean,
in a way,
long as
and I booked it. I booked the role. So
yeah, I see. I like that. I think that's going to work. And we can get creative. We can get creative with.
That's the part.
You wouldn't be able to do that in the room. You wouldn't be able to go. They would laugh. But on camera, you could do that, and even just looking right here, it's like. Exactly. That is effective. I think it really comes down to each thing. I have a friend who she really doesn't like to do auditions without props, and she has props for everything. And almost invariably, I coached her so much that almost invariably when we're doing she likes to work with me in the room. So she'll come over to my house and we'll set up the camera and she does a lot of independent films and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. She does a lot of independent films and things like that. So she books them a lot. So, but I'm always saying, why don't you just mime that? It's out of frame anyway. Oh, okay. Or, oh, well, I need it. I need, okay. If that's what you need, if it's empowering your work, fine. But we're not going to see it. That's okay.
But as long as it gives you truthful behavior on camera, I think have at it. So then the other side of this is going towards, like, have you seen what people are doing with lighting these days?
Oh my God.
People are doing key light, fill light, side light, or backfill or backlight so that they have these beautiful angles on their faces. I've seen full dramatic, cinematic lighting for a self-tape.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
It's very dramatic, and it makes the self-tape stand out. I do think you have to make sure that that the dramatic lighting, that your performance is equal or greater than the dramatic lighting that you've provided. Otherwise, again, it just becomes distracting, no?
Yeah, completely. If I were a director watching these, mind you, I'm watching them probably on my phone, on my hotel room bed, right?
Yeah.
On a break or in my trailer or something. So I mean, it's not like we get dailies and I get to sit down and watch your auditions on a big screen, right? So I think it's important that they be well lit because I'm watching them on my fucking phone.
You have to see,
right?
You have to see,
and the casting directors say, and I also think if I were a director and I saw somebody doing artsy fartsy lighting, I'd be annoyed. I'd go, nope, because what are you concentrating on the lighting for? I'm the director. I have a cinematographer. I've got a cinematographer. Cut that out. It to me, it would be a little bit of an annoyance. It would be like, that's rude. I also feel like it would be, what are you hiding? I want to see you in plain light. I want to see what you look like, and I want to see your work.
The flip side of that is that I feel like if you do get to the director's hands with that sort of a tape, it's like you have to sift through the lighting and the drama of what the image is in order to figure out whether or not the acting is any good.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether or not the performance is in there, because you have to sort of sift through all of that.
That's what I'm saying. It's simple is better. Well lit, look good, suggest the role, do your very, very best acting. If you need a prop or something, go for it, but don't make a big deal out of it. And most of all, don't get all artsy. It's an audition, and I think it blows it for people. I actually think it blows it for people, because now you're saying to me, I'd be thinking, what's going on here? Are you applying to be an assistant director? I want to see your face. I want to see your acting. I want to see on a base level, how good are you?
I'm going to challenge you a little bit, because I sort of feel a little bit like, if you know that you can give the performance that you want, but it somehow gives you more to add in some of those elements, if it ends up being aligned with your taste and your point of view, and you can stand behind the work and not the fear of it being too much or too whatever. But if it is a demonstration of who you are as an actor, as an artist, I try it.
It's not my style. It's just not my taste. I would prefer to always give a clean audition that's pretty simple and direct. I don't want to, it's not a movie. I'm not applying for a grant. This is an audition. I want to make sure they know I know it's an audition.
I hear you. And I would say that there is also room for standing out. It's blending in is as a strategy. And I think there is also room for sort of non-safe tapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the non-safe, this is interesting. To me, the non-safe or the safe should be coming out in the acting and the choice. I also think it's a big jump from simple and direct and no frills to blending in. I didn't say anything about blending in. I don't think you could, I know actors I don't think could blend in if they wanted to. And so I feel like, and I hope I'm one of them. Like, I don't want to blend it. What do I want to blend in with? Nothing. But I'm not here to display my talent. It's tempting to do the perfect take with the perfect lighting and the perfect sound and really present something, but that's not what I'm here to do. That's my view. I'm here to give you my very best acting work on this particular material, whether it's going to be in the script or not, and show you what I've got. And this is my version of it. And I hope you like it.
I think risk is memorable. I think if it's you, it's right. I think too many self-tapes are careful and safe. And the only ones that sort of really disappear are the careful and safe ones. I think specific, casting directors aren't looking for safe. They're looking for specific, and specific is sticky. So I think for our audience, who are particularly the people who are struggling with embracing self-tapes, I think the advice is use the medium. Like, if you treat it like punishment, if you treat self-tapes like punishment, then they'll feel like it.
Yeah, you're saying, I feel like what you're saying is enjoy all the aspects of it and have at it. If your instincts are saying do this, or it empowers you to do that, yes. I think we're both saying it's imperative that you embrace it, because here we are.
It's not going anywhere.
And it is creative. It is creative. You and I are just talking about
it's a creative opportunity. Ways. Yeah. You see, Patrick and I don't agree on everything. Sometimes we vehemently disagree, and we can still.
That's not true. We don't vehemently disagree. I don't know what you're talking about.
And we can still love each other and lick each other's faces at the end of it.
I didn't know you were going to say faces.
If you've gotten value out of this episode, please like and subscribe. Or if you're listening to us on a podcast, rate and review. And welcome to the Working Actor NYC. And we'll see you in a future episode.